Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Wednesday afternoon here at about 2 o'clock and the weather is absolutely glorious. It's bright blue sky, cool breeze blowing and just lovely and warm, 24 degrees Celsius. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's my perfect weather. I hope you are enjoying what you're looking at there, because to me this is the most beautiful, beautiful, cutest thing I've ever seen. Look at these babies. I've put their nighties on from Suzanne, of Suzanne's babies, and interestingly when I was dressing them I noticed that the one that Jonty is wearing, this one, is made, it was sold by Boots. It's got a Boots label in it, whereas this one has got a Mothercare label in it. And when I used to own them, they all came from Mothercare. They're actually identical. Obviously, they came from one manufacturer, I'd say, and that person supplied at different shops. But anyway, I just love how they look. I love this, just perfect, perfect newborn baby look. Just how you want your newborn babies to be. And they never really are they? Because they're always leaking somewhere and squirming and crying, and they're not perfect like this. But this is what I really enjoy. Having had 4 babies of my own and 8 grandchildren, and having been a preschool teacher and studied some science, nursing and medicine, I love the pleasure of having these babies not being messy, wriggly, needing changing, all of that stuff. I just love it. I love that I can make them look like this and just look at them. I just love it. It's just brilliant. So they're in their gorgeous nighties. I left their little feet bare. I did take out their pom-pom socks to put on that Suzanne sent, these little socks, but I just can't bear to cover their feet up when they're in these little nighties, so I've left them like that. So I just really wanted to show you the babies in their nighties, because I think they look perfect, especially with their bald heads. To me that's, well, you know, I've told you before that my babies were born basically, well, you know, with very little hair, except my 4th one. He had a bit more hair than the other 3, and it was quite dark, but not, he didn't actually have very much, not like a full head of hair. So for me, babies look more like babies when they don't have much hair, or are bald like these 2 guys. But what I have got here as well, while you look at these beautiful babies, is that book that the story that I was telling you about, and it comes from this book. I want to tell you about this book. I'll show you it. There it is. It's called My Naughty Little Sister, and it's by Dorothy Edwards. This is my original copy. You can see it's got 4 shillings at the bottom down here. That's how much it cost. And it's the version that I had when I was a little girl, and I absolutely love this book. I do have a newer edition, but this is the one I'd like to read to you from, because it's all, I'll show you, I'll open it up. It's all yellowed with age and falling apart. I actually wrote in running writing my name at the top. That's my maiden name up there. And I'll read you what it says. It says, My Naughty Little Sister. These stories, originally told on the BBC's program Listen with Mother, are a mother's own stories told to her children about the little sister of her own childhood. They describe the ordinary small events of every child's daily life, especially of one more given to saying, "No, I don't want to," than, "All right, I will." They are realistic and imaginative at the same time, and taken at just the right pace for small children of 4 to 7. So that's what it says in the beginning. So I don't consider that any of you are small children. Well, there might be some children watching, but these books are just as these stories are just as pleasurable for adults as they are for children. I read them to my grandchildren and they love them too, and I love reading them. So I'll just show you a couple of things before I start my favourite story of all. There's a beautiful drawing. Can you see that? That's I guess that's my naughty little sister there. And then the first page says, if you can see that, says for my sister Phil. And let me see if it says when this was published. First published by Methuen and Company Limited, 1952. Published in Puffin Books, which is this one, 1959. So that's probably about how old this book is. And they're all just short stories, so I won't hold you up too long. I'll just read you some of the titles of the little stories because they're really cute. There's Going Fishing, My Naughty Little Sister at the Fair, When My Naughty Little Sister Wasn't Well, My Naughty Little Sister Makes a Bottle Tree, The Wiggly Tooth, The Fairy Doll, My Naughty Little Sister Cuts Out, My Naughty Little Sister at the Party, and The Naughtiest Story of All. That's number 9, and that's the one I want to read to you. So I'll just find the right page. There are not many illustrations through the book, but just a few every now and again, so I'll just show you. There's that one. That's very sweet. That's my naughty little sister playing with her brand new doll, they called her Rosie Primrose, which is a nickname one of my daughters has. I hope she would mind if I told you, but I won't tell you any more. Her middle name is Rose, after my grandmother, and so we often call her Rosie Primrose, and she used to be quite naughty, but she's a grown-up, very responsible woman now, and mother, with a very responsible job. She cares for children who have difficult lives at home. So now there's another picture. Isn't that cute? That's my naughty little sister doing some gardening. I think she wanted to grow an oak tree in that story. So that's just to give you a rough idea of what the illustrations are like. Here's one more and then we're almost where we need to be. Isn't she cute, standing in her special raincoat? A little bit like Little Red Riding Hood. Just adorable. Anyway, so we'll go up to page 55, which is the one I want. Here it is, and I'll just show you and then I'll read from there. So can you see that? It's called The Naughtiest Story of All. This is such a very terrible story about my naughty little sister that I hardly know how to tell it to you. It is all about one Christmas time when I was a little girl, and my naughty little sister was a very little girl. Now, my naughty little sister was very pleased when Christmas began to draw near, because she liked all the excitement of the plum puddings and the turkeys and the crackers and the holly and all the Christmassy looking shops. But there was one very awful thing about her. She didn't like to think about Father Christmas at all. She said he was a horrid old man. There, I knew you would be shocked at that. But she did, and she said she wouldn't put up her stocking for him. My mother told my naughty little sister what a good old man Father Christmas was, and how he brought the toys along on Christmas Eve. But my naughty little sister said, "I don't care, and I don't want that nasty old man coming to our house." Well now, that was bad enough, wasn't it? But the really dreadful thing happened later on, and this is the dreadful thing. One day my school teacher said that a Father Christmas man would be coming to the school to bring presents for all the children, and my teacher said that the Father Christmas man would have toys for all our little brothers and sisters as well if they cared to come along for them. She said that there would be a real Christmas tree with candles on it, and sweeties and cups of tea and biscuits for our mothers. Wasn't that a nice thought? Well now, when I told my little sister about the Christmas tree, she said, "Oh, nice." And when I told her about the sweeties, she said, "Oh, very, very nice." But when I told her about the Father Christmas man, she said, "Don't want him, nasty old man." Still, my mother said, "You can't go to the Christmas tree without seeing him, so if you really don't want to see him all that much, you will just have to stay at home." But my naughty little sister did want to go very much, so she said, "I will go, and when the horrid Father Christmas man comes in, I will close my eyes." So we all went to the Christmas tree together, my mother and I and my naughty little sister. When we got to the school, my naughty little sister was very pleased to see all the pretty paper chains that we had made in school hanging all around the classrooms, and when she saw all the little lanterns and the holly and all the robin redbreast drawings pinned on the blackboards, she smiled and smiled. She was very smiley at first. All the mothers and the little brothers and sisters who were too young for school sat down in chairs and desks, and the big school children acted a play for them. My little sister was very excited to see all the children dressed up as fairies and robins and elves and bo peeps and things, and she clapped her little hands very hard, like all the grown-ups did, to show that she was enjoying herself. And she still smiled. Then, when some of the teachers came round with bags of sweets, tied up in pretty coloured paper, my little sister smiled even more, and she sang too when all the children sang. She sang "Away in a Manger" because she knew the words very well. When she didn't know the words of some of the singing, she la-la'd. After all the singing, the teachers put out the lights and took away a big screen from a corner of the room, and there was the Christmas tree, all lit up with candles and shining with silvery stuff and little shiny coloured balls. There were lots of toys on the tree, and all the children cheered and clapped. Then the teachers put the light on again and blew out the candles so that we could all go and look at the tree. My little sister went too. She looked at the tree and she looked at all the toys, and she saw a specially nice doll with a blue dress on, and she said, "For me." My mother said, "You must wait and see what you are given." Then the teachers called out, "Back to your seats, everyone. We have a visitor coming." So all the children went back to their seats and sat still and waited and listened. And as we waited and listened, we heard a tinkle-tinkle bell noise, and the schoolroom door opened, and in walked the Father Christmas Man. My naughty little sister had forgotten all about him, so she didn't have time to close her eyes before he walked in. However, when she saw him, my little sister stopped smiling and began to be stubborn. The Father Christmas Man was very nice. He said he hoped we were having a good time, and we all said yes, except my naughty little sister, who didn't say a thing. Then he said, "Now come on up one at a time, children, and I will give each one of you a toy." So first of all, each school child went up for a toy, and my naughty little sister still didn't shut her eyes, because she wanted to see who was going to have the specially nice doll in the blue dress. But none of the school children had it. Then Father Christmas began to call the little brothers and sisters up for presents, and as he didn't know their names, he just said, "Come along, Sonny," if it were a boy, excuse me, and "Come along, girlie," if it were a girl. The Father Christmas Man let the little brothers and sisters choose their own toys off the tree. When my naughty little sister saw this, she was so worried about the specially nice doll that she thought she would just go up and get it. She said, "I don't like that horrible old beardy man, but I do like that nice doll." So my naughty little sister got up without being asked to, and she went right up to the front where the Father Christmas Man was standing, and she said, "That doll, please," and pointed to the doll she wanted. The Father Christmas Man laughed, and all the teachers laughed, and all the mothers and the school children, and all the little brothers and sisters laughed, but my mother did not laugh, because she was so shocked to see my naughty little sister going out without being asked to. The Father Christmas Man took the specially nice doll off the tree, and he handed it to my naughty little sister, and he said, "Well now, I hear you don't like me very much, but won't you just shake hands?" And my naughty little sister said, "No," but she took the doll all the same. The Father Christmas Man put out his nice old hand for her to shake and be friends, and do you know what that naughty bad girl did? She bit his hand. She really and truly did. Can you think of anything more dreadful and terrible? She bit Father Christmas's good old hand, and then she turned and ran out of the school, with all the children staring after her, and her doll held very tight in her arms. The Father Christmas Man was very nice. He said it wasn't a hard bite. only a frightened one, and he made all the children sing songs together. When my naughty little sister was brought back by my mother, she said she was very sorry, and the Father Christmas man said, "That's all right, old lady." And because he was so smiley and nice to her, my funny little sister went right up to him and gave him a big sorry kiss, which pleased him very much. And she hung her stocking up after all, and that kind man remembered to fill it for her. My little sister kept the specially nice doll until she was quite grown up. She called it Rosy Primrose, and although she was sometimes bad-tempered with it, she really loved it very much indeed. And that's the end of the story. That's just one of the stories in this book, and they're all fabulous. I love all of them. A lot of them are shorter than that, and some of them include a little boy called Harry, who was my naughty little sister's very good friend, and they used to get up to lots of mischief. And the thing I love about this book is the going back in time, that the way things used to be, talking about the paper garlands and the lanterns, because I remember making all those. I still have some here. And just a different era, isn't it, where children were just brought up more differently than now, and so I really enjoy all of that about the book. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing that story of my naughty little sister. There are some fabulous stories in there about the coalman and the milkman, the baker, all sorts of good stories, and the doctor when he came to visit my naughty little sister, and one time when she had a wiggly tooth, and so many good things. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too long for you, and as I always say, you can zap through. I won't know the difference, so you just do whatever you want to when you're watching my videos. I just would like to add one more thing, and that is that I've just been watching Katie's video from My Little World, and I suggest you have a look at it. She published it on the 7th of December, just a couple of days ago. It's very, very interesting topic she's talking about. So you might like to have a look at that, make some comments, and just have a think about what's been going on in the reborn world, or outside of the reborn world in a way. And I would just like to say, just to remind everyone that we're all different, and we all have this hobby for different reasons. And I think the most important thing is to be tolerant of each other, to understand that we all do this for different reasons, that we all have different lives, but basically we all love babies, I think. I think the basis of doll collecting is babies and prams. I think that's where it usually starts. And this is another type of doll to collect, and basically that's as simple as it is, I think. So it's been lovely to be with you today, and I have really enjoyed it. Oh, I know what else I wanted to say. I'm really sorry that I haven't had time to comment on your comments. I haven't replied to anyone's comments on my last video. I read them all, I love them, but I just haven't had a chance to reply. So please be a bit understanding about that. I'll get onto it, and then this one as well. It's just been a very busy time at the doll club, and with extra things happening. I've got some family coming to stay next week, and you know what it's like. It's just crazy, crazy Christmas. So anyway, I love you all, I really do, and I love making videos for you, and I hope that you continue to watch them. So thank you everybody, and please be kind to each other and take care. All the best to everyone. Love you. Bye bye.